Have you ever been to a bad meeting? Raise your hand.
I know I have.
One of the things that probably made that meeting a miserable experience was you didn't have an agenda.
Yeah, or if the agenda was there, it wasn't really well organized or thought through.
So to fix all that, we've got 5 tips on how to build a useful, meaningful agenda for your next meeting.
So first, have a clear purpose. Why are you having this meeting? Is it a meeting to make decisions, to brainstorm, to have discussions? There are a lot of different purposes for meetings. If you're clear at the beginning on what your purpose is, then you can design the agenda around it.
Number 2 is input. So some meetings, depending on the purpose, are pretty clear in terms of what the agenda is going to be. But you may need to get buy-in, you may need to get discussion topics from your participants, you may need to get feedback on the agenda. Don't forget to consider whether you need input and take the time before you walk into the meeting to get the input you need.
Yeah, I know. I've definitely been to meetings before where I felt like I should have had something on the agenda, but they didn't come to me beforehand. And it's a big miss, right?
That's a bad feeling as a participant to have in a meeting.
Yeah. Number 3, clearly defined roles. Now, sometimes one person will play the role of owning the agenda and facilitating the meeting, and sometimes that's all the same person, a la Gabby for Inspire Corps, but sometimes you want different people to run those different roles in the meeting. So just figure that out in advance and make requests so that people know what they're doing.
I love that. Pro tip, it's a leadership opportunity for other folks on your team. Have them participate and contribute in that way. Number 4. DRI, aka directly responsible individual. That's a cool term from the folks at Apple. What that really means is for each discussion point, someone owns the outcomes of that conversation. So if it's a decision, they own the decision. If there's an action item, it's assigned to them. You don't want to have conversations where there's no clear owner of outcomes. Messy.
Very messy. Number 5, leave room for recap at the end of the meeting. I think so often we try to cram a ton in as much as we can into a meeting agenda, but the reality is important discussions can come up and you want to have some wiggle room in your agenda for those important conversations. So leave room at the end, and even better, if you end early, you can close the meeting.
Not a crime, guys. You can do it.
To recap, number 1, have a clear purpose in your meeting. Number 2, get input from others. Number 3, have clearly defined roles. Number 4, DRI, have directly responsible individuals. And number 5, room for recap at the end of the meeting.
So we hope you found those 5 tips to building a useful agenda helpful.
Try it out.